If you've ever shouted that line, you're quoting one of the most tongue-in-cheek Beatles tracks from their 1965 album Rubber Soul, Drive My Car. But this funky hit wasn't always so polished. It started out as a romantic ballad Paul McCartney thought was crap. Let's dive into the twists, rewrites, and guitar-powered fun behind the making of Drive My Car, and uncover some facts even hardcore fans might not know. Fact 1. It started with bad lyrics. Paul originally wrote Drive My Car as a straightforward love song with the chorus, I can give you diamond rings. But according to Paul in Barry Miles' book, many years from now, he admitted it was a bit cliched, and I knew it. So he scrapped the lyrics saying, this is crap. That's when John Lennon stepped in, and together they turned the song into a funny role reversal where the girl offers Paul a job as her chauffeur. But the twist? She doesn't even own a car. Fact 2, Paul and John's last-minute rewrite. The final lyrics were actually rewritten on the morning of the session, right before heading to Abbey Road. Paul later called it a late-night song finished in the car on the way. Their goal? To write something with a bit of humor and soul. George Harrison even called it one of the best collaborations between John and Paul during that Rubber Soul period. Fact 3, funky Motown influence. Musically, Drive My Car was a turning point. The Beatles were now digging into Stax and Motown grooves, and it shows. The bass line, written and played by Paul, is a standout. He later admitted he was channeling Otis Redding vibes. Even George Martin called it remarkably funky for four white English boys. This new sound helped Rubber Soul feel like a more mature, American R&B influenced record. Fact 4. It's one of the few Beatles songs with slide guitar that added grit and swagger to the track. Fact 5. Ringo's unique rhythm. Ringo keeps it tight with a driving beat, but if you listen closely, there's a subtle cowbell in the mix. It was played by Ringo himself, and it adds a quirky syncopation that makes the groove pop. Yes, long before Will Ferrell made it famous. Fact 6. Odd song structure. Unlike most Beatles tracks, the chorus comes after a kind of musical hook, that sliding blues riff. It was unusual for pop music at the time, more like a soul jam than a British invasion song. Fact 7. Paul on piano, bass, and lead vocals. Paul really took charge here. He sings lead, plays the melodic bass line, and recorded that funky piano part that kicks the song off. In fact, his bass part is considered one of his most inventive and melodic of the early Beatles period. Check out isolated tracks on Anthology 2 if you wanted to hear it. Fact 8, A-side that became a B-side. In the US, Capitol released Drive My Car only as a B-side to Michelle, despite its popularity in the UK and Europe. This move buried the song on US radio, and many fans didn't realize how big it was elsewhere. Fact 9, hidden wordplay. The lyric Drive My Car was a 60s euphemism for sex, especially in blues and R&B records. Paul later said, it was suggestive but not offensive. We like pushing the envelope just enough. So yeah, when she says she can make you a star if you'll be her driver, that's not just about a job. Fact 10, first song on Rubber Soul. Drive My Car kicks off the UK version of Rubber Soul, signaling a bold new direction for the band. In the US, though, Capitol Records removed it, which completely changed the vibe of the American Rubber Soul. Paul later said the US version felt more folky, and he didn't love it. Bonus fact, Anthology outtake. An early take of Drive My Car is included in Anthology 2, where you can hear them messing up the lyrics and laughing. It gives fans a glimpse of the fun, creative chaos of a Beatles session. From weak love song and a funky rock classic, Drive My Car proves that even Beatles throwaways can become classics if they have a bit of soul wit and Paul on slide guitar. So next time you hear that beep beep yeah, remember the rewriting, the late night jam, and the dirty little joke hidden under the hood. Have a favorite funky Beatles tune? Drop it in the comments and don't forget to subscribe for more behind the scenes Beatles gold.